Udemy and Thinkific are popular online course creation platforms, but there's actually quite a huge difference between the two. And in this video, I will show you what are the main differences and which platform should you go for in your specific use case. And by the way, you can find the best deals to these platforms by clicking the links in the description. But first, let's analyze these platforms and let's decide which one is best for you before you make any decisions. One of the biggest things when it comes to Udemy and Thinkific is the difference in ownership and control. Because Udemy is a course marketplace, you don't really own your student data, which basically means that you're not allowed to, or you're not able to market content directly to your students. And also you have quite a lot of limitations put in place when it comes to creating these courses. So for example, you will have basically the exact same landing page as all these other instructors that are on Udemy, and you have very limited abilities to stand out from the masses. And also this comes with a con where you basically have students that remember that I once took this course on Udemy, and they don't really remember that it was you. Well, some of them do, but the important thing is that you're essentially working more like a freelancer on Udemy platform to build their brand reputation without having any kind of control or any kind of a brand reputation benefit from using the platform. But that is not the case on Thinkific. So on Thinkific, you can sell and host your courses without any of these restrictions. Well, of course, you have still some limitations when it comes to customizing your pages and Outlook, because those are still operated by these blocks that you can drag and drop around. But the point is that on Thinkific, you can host a course and it's not relevant to your students that they are on Thinkific, because that's actually not something they will probably even notice. They don't know that they are taking a course that is hosted on Thinkific. Instead, they will remember you. So for example, I have 2 courses on Thinkific, and people know that these belong to Arttu Jalli instead of that these belong to the platform. And this is one of the biggest differences between Udemy and Thinkific. So on Udemy, you're almost like a customer or passenger in a ship, but on Thinkific, you are the owner or the captain of the ship. So this is quite a huge difference. If you want to earn anything serious from your courses, then you definitely should choose Thinkific, because there you don't have any limitations and you can build your own brand. You have your students' data, you can reach out to them, you can promote stuff to them, and people will remember you and they will remember your brand instead of the platform's name. And then when it comes to revenue, on Udemy, you're quite limited to what you can earn on the platform, because first and foremost, Udemy takes a cut from your earnings. So if your course costs like $100, let's say, you will only earn a portion of that $100. But that's not all, because Udemy takes care of the marketing of your courses. So they can basically decide that, okay, it's time to put a 90% sale on your course, which means that if you have a $100 course, it's going to sell for $10. And if you're earning like a couple of dollars from that, you need thousands and thousands and thousands of students to make anything significant. But then on a platform like Thinkific, you will basically keep all the earnings. Of course, there are some transaction fees and stuff like that, but you can create a course that costs $1,000 and you will basically keep it all. And you're not going to encounter these flash sales that you're not aware of. So it won't happen on Thinkific that your course is all of a sudden 90% off, because you have the control over these kinds of things. But then when it comes to marketing, Udemy and Thinkific are also quite different. So on Udemy, you can just join, you can just create a course, and they will take care of the marketing. So they will push it to the right audience and they will acquire you the student base. So there's not only a huge student base on Udemy that exists already, But also Udemy has a strong brand reputation. So most of the people that are using the internet, they have sometimes encountered these Udemy courses. So that is an advantage over a platform like Thinkific, because on Thinkific, they do not worry about your marketing at all. They are not marketing experts. They just offer you the place where you can host your course. If you don't have a huge audience to begin with, if you don't have a personal brand reputation, it can be very hard to make your first sales on Thinkific. But on the other hand, if you create a good course that is compelling, that delivers, then Udemy is going to promote that through the roofs, and you might get a lot of students that would otherwise take like years for you to acquire if you were to start from a complete scratch on a platform like Thinkific. So that's one of the main advantages to a platform like Udemy. So you don't need a student base or brand reputation or whatever, because Udemy is going to take care of all of that. Your course will be one of the many, but Udemy will also take care that they will find the right audience and the right customers to your course. And then when it comes to creating courses, I have basically tested both these platforms, and in fact I'm hosting 2 courses on Thinkific. But yeah, both are very easy to use, so you will get the gist of it in just minutes. So I would say that the only thing that stands out to me is that Udemy is a bit more simple. You just sign up, you create a course, you have these content options, and everything is smooth and templatized and basically follows the Udemy brand, and it is very easy to use. Then on Thinkific, you have a bit more control because you can also create your custom landing pages and school pages. So there are a bit more options, but then also the learning curve is a bit steeper. But both of the platforms are very easy to use. Both of them are something where you don't need any technical knowledge. So I think I didn't even watch any tutorials when I started. I just followed these simple guidelines, and basically that's it. And now the question is, which platform should you choose? Thinkific or Udemy? Well, for me, the answer is no-brainer. It is Thinkific, because there you can actually earn decently from your courses, and there only the sky is the limit. So you can price your course as high as you want to. You can run your sales at your own pace. You can customize your pages and build your own brand with these courses without working for somebody else. But as I said, you need an existing audience to start making sales. So the fact that you can just create a course on Thinkific does not mean that you're going to bring in any students. So you might create a super wonderful course with amazing pages and calls to action and whatever, and you might end up with 0 students if you don't have an existing audience. But in my opinion, it is still worth the time building that audience and selling your own course with your own name and with your own brand, because that's the way to scale the business. But if you're just like interested in trying this online course thing, perhaps you can create your first course on a platform like Udemy, and you can see what people like, you can see what you like about the content creation aspect and course creation aspect and stuff like that. So if you just want to test the waters, if you want to see results kind of quickly, then definitely go for Udemy. But just remember, once it's time to step up, club up the course game, then it's time to start on a platform like Thinkific, where you run the show and you are not running it for somebody else.